Welcome back, beautiful, beloved souls, to mainly a commentary channel where I look at anything and everything to do with life and death through a lens, hence the name of the channel. My name is Gem Stone. I'm a psychic medium and an author, but I'm also a lot more than that. All right. I think from now on, because I am just more than those, I'm just going to introduce me as Gem. Okay. We lately have been looking at consciousness, and I said over the next few days I was going to do a series. The series started yesterday, where I uploaded a couple of videos titled Reality Under the Microscope, and this is part 3. I would kindly suggest that if you haven't seen my at least last week of videos, you may be out of order because I've been building each video on an order. So this is Reality Under the Microscope, part 3. Is the universe written in mathematics? So, as I explained, over the past 2 episodes, we've been exploring reality itself. We've asked whether things exist when nobody is looking. Then we looked at matter and discovered that the solid world around us is far stranger than our senses suggest. In this commentary video today, I'd like to ask another question, one that has fascinated philosophers, mathematicians, and scientists for thousands of years. Did humans invent mathematics, or did we discover it? It sounds like a simple question, but I think it changes everything. Before there were humans, imagine traveling back billions of years, long before humans existed, before language, before books, before civilization, before anyone could count. Did 2 plus 2 still equal 4? Did circles still contain the value we call pi? Did triangles still obey geometry? If the answer is yes, then mathematics wasn't invented, it was waiting to be discovered, almost like an invisible language woven into reality itself. That thought amazes me because it means mathematics may exist independently of human beings. The language of nature. Wherever we look, mathematics seems to appear. The planets orbit mathematically. Gravity behaves mathematically. Light travels mathematically. Atoms obey mathematical relationships. DNA follows mathematical patterns. Snowflakes display remarkable symmetry. Crystals grow according to geometric structures. Sunflowers, pine cones, and many plants display spirals related to the Fibonacci sequence. Even the branching of trees and rivers often follow mathematical principles. Nature doesn't seem random. It seems organized, not simple, but organized. Centuries ago, Galileo suggested that the book of nature is written in the language of mathematics. Hundreds of years later, that idea still echoes through modern science. Patterns everywhere. The more scientists study the universe, the more patterns they find. Patterns inside galaxies. Patterns inside weather systems. Patterns inside the human brain. Patterns inside the heartbeat. Even chaos has mathematics. There is an entire field called chaos theory showing that systems which appear completely unpredictable often contain hidden order underneath. Perhaps the universe isn't random. Perhaps it is creative within rules, like jazz, freedom within structure. Mathematics or reality. This leads to another fascinating question. Does mathematics describe reality, or is mathematics reality? Some physicists have even suggested that mathematics isn't merely a tool humans use. Perhaps mathematics is the architecture of existence itself. Perhaps equations don't simply describe the universe. Perhaps the universe unfolds through mathematical relationships. Nobody knows for certain, but it's a remarkable possibility. Information and code. Let's think about computers. Everything inside your phone. Every photograph, every email, every video, even artificial intelligence ultimately comes down to mathematics. Binary, 1, 0, on, off. Information from astonishingly simplicity emerges incredible complexity. Sometimes I wonder if humanity can build entire digital worlds from mathematics. What if mathematics is capable of building realities far beyond our own imagination? Not proof, just a fascinating question. Why does mathematics become beautiful? Have you noticed something curious? Mathematics often becomes beauty. The proportions of flowers, the branching of trees, the spiral of galaxies, the shell of a nautilus, the crystals beneath our feet, the rhythm of the tides. Beauty seems to emerge naturally from mathematical relationships. Perhaps beauty itself is another language of mathematics. Okay, this is part 2 of this video. And part 2 is why every ancient culture believed in sacred sound. Now, I'd like to change direction slightly because there is another mystery that appears again and again throughout history. music, sound, vibration. Almost every ancient civilization believed sound possessed extraordinary significance. Ancient India developed sacred mantras. Many indigenous cultures use rhythmic chanting and song in ceremony. Monastic traditions developed chants intended to focus the mind. Ancient Greek thinkers, including Pythagoras, explored the mathematical relationships between musical notes and believed harmony reflected something fundamental about the cosmos. Different cultures told different stories, yet many shared one remarkable intuition that vibration somehow mattered. Music is mathematics. When we hear music, we often experience emotion, joy, sadness, peace, longing. But underneath those emotions, music is mathematics, frequencies, ratios, patterns, timing, harmony, and resonance. An orchestra is mathematics made audible. A piano keyboard is mathematics you can hear. Every silence has rhythm. Perhaps that is why music speaks to us so deeply. Our emotions respond to mathematics without us consciously calculating anything. My book, The Maurs. Years ago, I channeled a story that eventually became one of my books. It was called The Maurs, Maurs. Now, whether someone sees it as spiritual channeling, imagination, or speculative fiction is entirely up to them. I simply want to share the idea. The Maurs were unlikely anything human. The closest description I could find was they resembled enormous spiders, although they were not spiders as we understand them. They evolved on a planet with a completely different chemistry from Earth's. Their intelligence wasn't like ours, nor was it like the artificial intelligence we are beginning to develop today, but it was like an artificial intelligence, just not what we term artificial intelligence. What fascinated me the most wasn't their appearance. It was their understanding of reality. Their music wasn't music in the human sense. It wasn't entertainment. It was mathematics expressed through vibration. By understanding those mathematical relationships, they gradually learned how to influence the bonds that held their world together. They learned how to create. They learned how to unmake. According to the story, they eventually pushed this understanding too far. Before they could restore what had been lost, their civilization disappeared. Whether that story came from somewhere beyond me or from the creative depths of my own mind, I honestly don't know. But I still find the idea deeply thought-provoking. Stories across cultures. What intrigues me is that similar themes appear again and again. Fantasy author L.E. Modesett Jr. imagined worlds where singing could influence order, chaos, and balance. Other writers have imagined crystals that sing. Some science fiction explores frequencies capable of changing matter. These are works of fiction, yet they all return to the same question. Could vibration be more fundamental than we realize? Perhaps these stories resonate because they echo something humans have long sensed, even if we cannot yet fully explain it. Modern physics and vibration. Even modern physics contains echoes of this idea. String theory proposes that the smallest constitutions of reality may not be tiny particles at all. Instead, they may be unimaginably small vibrating strings. Different vibrations, different particles. Different particles, different matter. Different matter, different worlds. String theory remains speculative. It has not yet been experimentally confirmed, but I find it fascinating that one of the boldest ideas in theoretical physics also begins with vibration. Again, not proof, simply another lens through which to look. One song, infinite notes. Sometimes I wonder whether the universe resembles a great symphony. Every atom, a note. Every star, a chord. Every galaxy, a movement. Every conscious being, another melody woven into the whole. Perhaps mathematics writes the score. Perhaps vibration performs it. Perhaps consciousness experiences it. Whether that's literally true or simply a beautiful metaphor, I don't know. But I find myself returning to that image again and again. Closing. Perhaps the universe is far more than matter. Perhaps it is relationships, patterns, information, mathematics, vibration, consciousness, or perhaps all of those are simply different languages describing the same mystery. Science continues searching. Philosophy continues asking. Spirituality continues wondering. Art continues imagining. Music continues expressing what words cannot. And maybe that's the lesson. Reality is so extraordinary that no single discipline can fully contain it. Science gives us one lens, philosophy another, spirituality another, art another. Each reveals something. None reveals everything. So, I'll leave you with one final question. If the universe is written in mathematics, who or what is reading the equation? until next time, keep asking questions. All right, if you are going to drop a comment, please do so respectfully. If only the world was more tolerant, less judgmental, what a better place we would be living in. All right, please be kind to each other, smile at a stranger. You may just save a life. Take care of yourselves because you matter. You are precious. See you tomorrow. Love, light, and blessings. Bye.